Hello, hello. My name is Solmaz, and you're listening to the Tabling Thoughts podcast. In this podcast, I'm going to talk about my experiences as a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. The little points that I notice in my clients' life that each of them affect the quality of their lives and their relationships enormously. And for some reason, they don't pay that much of attention to those points. And of course, confidentiality is always there. Before we start, if you want to know a little bit about me, as I mentioned, I'm a relationship coach with the fancy name of effective relationship strategist. I also practice as a psychotherapist in Ontario, Canada. I live in Canada. I'm married and I have a son. I also have another podcast called Laam Kalam, which is in Farsi for my Farsi speaking audience. Laam Kalam is a very well received podcast. As of today, it has more than 3.5 million downloads on just Castbox. The purpose of Laam Kalam, same as Tabling Thoughts, has always been to talk about the issues, not necessarily give direct or custom made solutions. And of course, the same applies here. So if you know anyone who speaks in Farsi and is looking for that kind of content, Laam Ta Kalam is the place to go. You may find the link to my Instagram page and all other information, including Laam Ta Kalam's links, in the description. You are listening to the fifth episode of Tabling Thoughts, which is published in March 2024. And I'm going to talk about the concept of future faking. Future faking is such a manipulative dynamic because it's about making a future promise to someone to keep them on the chain of the destructive relationship and give them hopes that none of them will be fulfilled. Throughout the years, I have come across too many clients who regret being in a relationship for the longest time. When we review the circumstances, we come across to the promises that they received from the other party, from their partner, that they were never fulfilled. This term of future faking is a deceptive tactic in which someone claims some plans and promises for the future but has no intention whatsoever of following through on them. This kind of behavior is frequently seen in relationships where one party may paint a picture of future, beautiful, gorgeous, that they both share in order to win the other person's confidence, loyalty, and keep them in relationship. When someone is future faking, they might discuss long term plans like getting married, having children, buying a house, working towards shared objectives, having plans for future. They use these assurances to establish a foundation of trust and dedication in their partnership with no intention of fulfilling them. The person who is using this kind of tactic is not sincere about keeping their word and doesn't really intend to follow through any of them. Future faking fosters false hope and trust, which might have negative emotional effect. The person who is attached to these plans and believes them, after a while will have lack of self-confidence, lack of self-esteem, lack of trust. They will have issues believing other party. Why? Because they have been exposed to future faking. When the victim notices that the future they were promised is not coming to pass, it can cause them to feel wounded, disappointed, lost faith, as we said in relationship. And the worst part that most of my clients who have been exposed to future faking talk about it is the wasted time of their life. It's a type of manipulation that might be harmful to participant well-being. My friends, we just live once, and if we are exposed to this kind of manipulative future faking, we'll waste a lot of our emotional and physical energy. Although dealing with future deception can be difficult, you may want to consider the following actions. One of them is always try to find actions, behaviors, rather than trusting or leaning on words. Meaning that, for example, if your partner tells you, I'm a very on time person, you see the person is not on time for 2, 3 times, and each time they promise you they will be better, you will acknowledge the action, the behavior, not the words. Words mean nothing if they don't have action to back them up. So recognize the warning signals of future deception. Recognizing the manipulation techniques will enable you to spot it when it happens. The second one is to talk honestly and genuinely. Talk to the individual, talk to your significant other who is playing this technique with you in an open and sincere manner about their plans and promises. Talk about your emotions and your worries, as well as how their actions affect you. Set boundaries. Define your expectations for the partnership and set clear boundaries. Show the consequences. Don't forgive. Don't forget, specifically during the times you see the actions are repeating. Like if your partner says that in 2 months you will see my family, 6 months passes by and you just hear all different kind of excuses, that's the boundary you need to set. You need to talk with them, you need to set the boundaries firm, and you need to show the consequences. You need to make it known that sincerity and honesty are essential to building trust. Embrace your gut feelings. There are many times that we feel something is not going right. We feel something lacks. We feel something is not right. But we are not courageous. We are not brave enough to count on those kind of feelings. If it seems that commitments are not being kept on a regular basis, follow your guts. It's essential to put your mental and physical well-being first. Analyze the relationship. You need a good determination how well the relationship is doing overall. From time to time, specifically in the beginning of your relationship, that love and those kind of bubbly stuff are all over the place, you need to put your feet on ground and analyze the relationship from a right point of view. Look at your relationship. Does it satisfy you? Does it satisfy your expectation and needs? Or you feel that there are many parts of this relationship lacking throughout the time and you cannot trust your significant other? Always, always, always seek help. Seek professional help. Talk to those who have earned your trust in family or friends. Counseling is one of the best solutions for this kind of behavior. An outside viewpoint might occasionally offer insightful advice and encouragement. Talking about counseling brings it to your attention. There are many different personality disorders, like narcissistic personality disorder. The base of those disorders are on manipulating the situation, keeping you in relationship the way they want, and not giving you what you want, but giving you the hope and expectations of what you may have in future. So to manage the difficulties in relationship, think about getting professional help like a therapist, counselor. Specifically, if you see that you're stuck in relationship, you can't figure out how to get out of it, zoom out and look at your relationship in a healthy way, and you see time is passing by and nothing is changing except you're getting more frustrated and exhausted. And focus on your self-care. Give attention to your own needs and development. Regardless of the nature of the relationship you're in, make sure you're taking good care of your emotional and mental health. Don't let yourself to be fully dependent on your significant other. Make well-informed choices. You might have to make tough choices about relationships' future if this kind of pretending continues and it is becoming more harmful than beneficial. Future faking is very common, specifically if one partner comes from a naive and innocent personality. Just make sure you're not going to blame yourself for being stuck in such a relationship. Rather, you should praise yourself for seeing it even after years and getting out of it. I hope this episode opens up your eyes to the concept that many people's mental health and lives have been affected throughout the time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for following us. Thank you for being a loyal follower of Tabling Thoughts. Until next episode, take good care of yourself.